one of the objectives is going to be right off the bat. It looks like we're going to have a Gao Mog start today. Yep.
Gao's one of the objective characters.
And Gao is one of the objective characters. So if they wanted to get one of these right out of the way, they absolutely can by going straight to Gao Manor and having Gao talk to his dad.
I wonder if any of the runners are going to go out of their way to pick up any powerful dances for.
I've watched Mr. Entity in the past, and that tends to be one of his first things that he likes to do is he goes and does wind songs. So yeah, so Mr. Entity is electing to go, and so is Ridley, to go straight to Gao's dad and talk to the resident there.
I like the window color coordination for Team Entity and Jack. I already forgot their name. Was it Galloping something?
Galloping Dickinsons, yes.
Galloping Dickinson.
So I will post into chat right now what the objective is and what got drawn. So again, this is objective You're Not My Real Dad. And we've already seen one of the first objective on that list immediately get completed.
What I'm seeing, there's a pretty stacked Narsh. I like that item shop and that relic shop.
Yep. So it's take Gao to Gao Manor, which just got done. So now there's only 2 objectives left, but the other ones are really tough. They're going to have to find specific espers and characters, or find specific bosses. So, yeah, that was an early fixed dice for Jack and this out of Narsh here. That's very, very good. You bet he's going to be telling his partner that. We're probably going to see that identical check come from Mr. Entity.
The earlier the better for that fixed die.
Yep.
Looks like Mr. Entity already getting into a scuffle.
Yeah, I think he wants to pick up that dance, but he's unfortunately run into a bit of a nightmare scenario with the
See what? Alright, he's going to take the reset.
There's that reset, yep.
Ridley looting South Figueroa. So far, he's got a few ice shields, and I believe a ribbon I saw earlier as well.
I really think that the race is going to be decided based on how well our teams communicate with one another, because you can really crack open seed quickly if you've if you've got good communication skills between you. So we've found Terra. Terra's at Kefka at Narsh.
Yeah,
so
that's
the Narsh
huge.
battle is going to be a big one, but Terra alone doesn't complete that objective. We're going to need to see Terra equip the Magicite Maduin, who is her dad, in the game.
That's true, but the objective aside, Terra's an excellent character to pick up in general.
Absolutely.
Will open up a great early check in that sealed cave, which is loaded with treasure. And also, it opens up Welk right on the way out of here, which is very convenient. Wow, a Thunder Shield for Ridley as well. He's got 3 Elemental Shields already.
Yeah, you think he's going to end up equipping him or cracking him early on?
I imagine he'll hang on to him.
They could really trivialize some of these early fights, so...
Yeah, that's true. They're really useful in the bind if you feel like you just need to hit something hard. And that's the only way to win in a reasonable amount of time.
Game Genji shield in South Figaro is pretty nice too.
Absolutely. I love to sell things like the Genji shield because the elemental shields generally are better. But I mean, if you don't have those yet, then it's definitely a good shield to equip.
Oh, and Dataluma is the boss in Narsh.
Wow.
Wow.
Unbelievable. So really all we need is Maduin and the
Maduin or Bahamut, so it's an Esper hunt now. In the first 5 minutes of the seed.
No one could have
I should have made these objectives harder.
See, my first impression when I saw them was that they were pretty tough.
Like they were meant to be a MacGuffin hunt at some point, you know what I mean?
Well, it's not over yet. Who knows? That Maduin, that Bahamut, they could be any. Well, sure. If they complete all the objectives, that's only a secondary objective.
Yeah, that's only part of what they need to do to win. They still need to go 7 and 10. They still need to both kill Kefka, and then their average time as a team will be what decides first, second, third place.
It's interesting. Ridley and Vampstar both in Narsh.
I think Narsh is just too juicy a place to pass up. There's so many chests there.
That's true. It is a very, very preferred location to check early on.
I mean, other than that, their only real option is to go dried meat hunting or to jump in a river.
Well, we did see the dried meat at the item shop in Narsh.
Yep.
I don't know if it picked it up yet, though.
Oh, did Jackmus just sell that fixed dice for snipers? I think he did.
Yeah, that's such a Jack move.
Oh, man. Definitely not the move I would have made, but Jack is a better racer than I am, so perhaps...
I mean, I understand. That money has more value earlier on in the seed than later. And you can always find more fixed... You can find fixed dice later in the seed. For, like in a shop.
Sure. It's interesting we would go down those stairs but not get them. Oh wow, they might be communicating to one another exactly which chests are worth opening or not, because I'm noticing Jackman is skipping a lot of the South Figaro chests.
Yeah, already seeing that co-op factor in play.
Yep.
Like Ridley's found the dried meat.
Yep. Entity is going to get Realm from the Veld character.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely be telling Jack about that.
For sure. Looks like Jack's doing a little bit of grinding here. Or maybe he just wants to pick up Wind Song. Yeah, I think that's what he was going for. Just the mod dance.
Yes, Dark Realm is the best magic girl. She starts out with a higher magic than anybody else.
Yep. Yep, and here comes Jack right behind him to pick up that realm.
So far, pretty similar early game from both teams.
Yep. Oh, Mr. Entity did the.
Oh, I was worried. I thought that was a dirt dragon for a second.
Anytime I see that graphic, I worry. But yeah, he's doing Serpent Trench right now. Where does Vamp keep finding these Telstars?
Well, he's in the belt now, so the Telstar I found earlier is coming back to haunt.
That's right.
Now, I believe for the Velt, it is a 5 1/8 chance for the deck to appear after the battle.
It's just a little better than 50%, yeah. All right.
Look at this Stray.
He's getting this Terra.
Okay, it's got Warp and Bolt too, so that's pretty good.
So he left, got Realm, and then went back to Marsh to get Terra. I like that.
Wonder if he's gonna check these encounters here just to see if this is a good grind spot or not.
I definitely would. Especially right now, before they have too much discovered, when the enemies aren't super heavily scaled. Rodok's Grease Monks is totally doable. I really can't believe that Dadaluma is the Kefka boss.
I'm pretty sure that was the first boss we saw.
Blows my mind.
Looks like Realm is a fixed dice equipper.
That's good to see. She's gambling at such a young age. Cactars, it's really bad. That's really bad, Ridley.
Well, let's see. Does he have a dance that maybe can hit it?
He's gonna get 1K needles. Well, blowfished pretty soon here. Yep.
Yeah.
What about Dunzo? Yikes.
Wonder if he'll bail, come back later, and just get all the Espers leveled up with either of this. Well, it's probably not a good idea, seeing as Terra's the character there.
Yep. For those of you just joining us, this is a 2v2 race. Vampstar and Ridley, who are on the right, and Mr. Entity and Jackamus, who are on the left.
Hey, do you see our friend Dadaluma has returned? Down on Jack's screen?
No,
Oh wait, that's because of the dance. I got confused.
I did too.
Is he appear in the belt? I was about to ask, but no, he's already got Realm.
No, it wouldn't be on the belt. He's in Narsh battle right now, and getting really unlucky. It's actually kind of nuts. Dadaluma is usually such a free fight, but
well, this early on, any fight can be a struggle. For like the undead ones.
Darkfells, was that Ragnarok the Esper or Ragnarok the Sword? For that Elite River check, I didn't see the sword. Okay. So, Elite River is kind of a bust, but gives you a really, really nice Nice weapon for your trouble.
That's true. And after that Elite River, I believe Mr. Energy is going to be the strongest racer at the.
Yep. Definitely well kitted out.
I think that'll enable him to just rapidly check stuff. And then...
Yeah, it looks like he's opting to go for realm checks, though, right now. He's going to, it looks like, Esper Mountain. Presumably, he doesn't want to cross streams too much with what Jackamus is doing at the moment, which makes sense. I don't know, how would you feel about that, Drew? I mean, I feel like Terra is such a strong character that I would definitely go pick up Terra if I were in Mr. Enedy's shoes.
Well, yeah, I think I definitely would too. Even if my teammates already got it covered. But unless the plan is that Jack just does all the Terra's checks. And then lets
they're really banking. Yeah, it means they're really banking on a character being on one of Realm's 2 checks, because that's all that they have outside of Terra checks is those 2 for Realm right now.
Yeah, at least with this strategy, they are covering a lot of ground. It's the only time where it hasn't worked out is if one of them hits a. So at the moment, it's working out fine.
Yeah. Darkfowl says, if you have a game plan, you want to cover as much ground as possible. Try not to develop shiny syndrome and mess up your plan. Yeah, but Terra sure is shiny, is all I'm saying. So I predict that the first person that's going to be done with this fight is actually going to be. Oh, I guess it is Jackamus. I shouldn't have tried to predict. I was thinking Vamp had a major advantage because it was fixed dice on Realm, but he's got a Mog Dance going now, and so
yeah,
it's,
but
not looking good.
Yeah, a little bit of commentator curse there for you.
Yeah, no kidding. Ooh, we have Inferno at Esper Mountain.
That's going to be a tough one to get over right now. Might just be an instant reset. He's going to play it out. Nope, he's getting Bolt 2'd. But yeah, Realm does have Bolt 2. So that's that could be passable damage to get through this. Yeah, it's only level 6, so I think he can probably do this. But yeah, he really wants that landslide to land on the body. This boss becomes more scary once his arms are gone. And unfortunately, Mog is rage locked.
Ooh, that's a meteor. Yep. There's the reset. Very unlucky. I think he's going to run right back in. Speaking of shiny syndrome, looks like Jackamus really wants that Ragnarok.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, it's a nice item. Don't get me wrong.
So Vamp took a death to that Dataluma, and he is being punished heavily for it. the reset from Vamp.
Thinking Jackson it for the XP then. Entity probably told him that it was a good grind spot.
Mm-hmm. So once again, for those people just joining us, this is a 2v2 cooperative race, and there are really two objectives left that haven't been completed of additional objectives required before they can go into go mode and go fight Kefka. And that those two objectives that are left, they have to complete one of the two. They have to either equip the Moduin Esper to Terra, or they have to use the Bahamut Esper in combat with a dragon.
Looks like Ridley's heading towards Serpent Trench.
Yeah, I think he needs to still pick up Realm at the moment.
Oh yeah, that's right. Vampstar now running through South Figaro.
Yeah,
probably going for those shields and the ribbon. Yeah.
So the last time I ran a Worlds Collide Seed, I had an unfortunate incident happen with the Veld character. I ended up having my controller have one of its inputs eaten up, and I ended up using the dried meat on myself. I ate it right in front of the Veld character and didn't have more than one in my inventory.
Oof. Yeah, I always try to buy like 4 or 5 dried meats in case that happened.
Yeah, I think I got mine out of a chest, which is...
Yeah,
if it had been out of a shop, I'd have bought many of them. Oh, that's a fight you run away from.
Vampstar, you can't run from Naughty, can you?
No, that's a fight that you'd want to run away from, though.
Yeah.
If you could.
Yes, and it is annoyingly immune to ice. I've learned that the hard way a few times myself.
Yep.
Okay, I think I see what's going on here now. So I think Jacquemus wanted to get strong. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. Forget I said anything. He's now leaving the Esper.
That's someone saying, no, I've got that. There we go. Now we're going to see what's at the secret base. I think this is a reason to pick up Terra by herself. Just the
hero ring. Oh yeah, this room's OP.
Just this room alone.
Yeah, hero ring is one of the best relics in the game, especially if you're using physical weapons. That 25% extra damage really helps out a lot in that regard. And then you're still not losing out on any magical damage either. And that's a snow muffler. That's a really great.
Yeah. Little good find.
Yeah, and they have Gao who can equip it.
Well, looks like he equipped it to Mog this time around.
Yeah, so far, pretty generous in terms of equipment.
Yeah, they'll make their way to the Esper checks. There's some where they're gonna have a good chance of getting them. It's just going to be interesting to see. It's just going to be interesting to see whether or not it really does become a Esper MacGuffin hunt, or if it just occurs naturally in the path as they go.
Funny thing about Espers is, as of an update last week, they are no longer guaranteed anywhere. So, it's going to really be up to luck of the draws to find the Madween or Bahamut.
Thankfully, though, Madween and Bahamut, the other half of what they would need to do with them is fairly straightforward and easy. You know, they can easily get to the dragons. They already have Terra. So,
all right, let's see what's at the sealed cave. Phoenix. Oh, and it's an amazing Esper.
I saw the Cure 3 and Demi, but what did I miss on there, Drew?
Magic Power +2.
Very nice. And so early as well.
Yeah, that'll basically take care of any late game damage issues they may have faced.
We might still get Amaro's Shaz, but I don't think anybody's going to be using them anytime soon. So now really it's got that Ragnarok that he can't use.
Yeah. So I imagine Jack's going to go down onto the raft after gathering all the items here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hey, there's earrings there at Nicaea, I believe is the name of the town.
Yep.
Yeah, Fraggle, probably Realm or Terra, I'd imagine. Though it can be useful on any character, really. I think I'd actually put it on Terra just because she can morph and then it doubles the double match power, if that makes sense. But that's only if you're using certain spells, like the elemental spells. It doesn't work for spells like Flare or Ultima.
Jack is using that water rondo dance. That is Ultras 1 at Welk.
Oh yeah, I love the water rondo. That El Nino early on just makes encounters a breeze.
so many enemies are vulnerable to water or don't have good resistance to water that it's just extremely strong.
Absolutely. And we got
every time they see Magicite, it's not Bahamut or Maduin, you know that they're just sort of muttering under their breath.
still a good Esper there.
Good lord, that Inferno just made really quick work of Ridley's team.
Yeah, that Inferno is being a problem for every runner so far. So, Raiden, great Esper. It's actually useful in the final battles because if you don't have like cleave or anything like that, you can use Raiden as a replacement for one tier. And then if you have Odin, you can use it for the second tier.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Also, I believe it one-shots Katana Soul. So if I get something like that, might look into starting checking those monster in the boxes.
Yep. Try to get that early offering.
He also drops like a bunch of GP.
Yeah, Esper Mountain's no joke today. Inferno is going to be a real problem for our runners no matter what.
Calling it now, Madwings at Esper.
Here's hoping, man.
So let's see, we haven't seen Owzers yet. Have we?
We have not.
Alright, well, SP Ridley's doing it now.
Owzers used to be my favorite place to grind until they did the random enemies in fixed locations.
Yeah, my reaction whenever I played my first fixed encounter seeds and I went to Owzer, I was like, sorry, my mic cut out.
No, it's fine. You're saying?
Said, oh.
Yeah, it's a boatload of experience right off the bat.
Back in the good old days, I think I was the first one to start doing the Owzers grind.
It's either you or Marth. I learned it from one of you.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it was a little bit overpowered.
Again, for everybody joining us, welcome. This is our first ever 2v2 Final Fantasy Worlds Collide race. We have Mr. Entity and Jacobus Wedge, who have formed the team known as the Galloping Dickinsons. And we have, I'm never going to get the name that Vamp and Ridley have. Hang on.
Something about an octopus.
It's too good for me to not get it right. Hang on 1 second. I'll go double check it. Calamari Dynasty is their team name. And they are, then we have about 5 other teams that are off stream that are racing right now. They're all racing the same seed, and they're sharing information with one another. But before they're allowed to kill Kefka, they have to complete objectives. Now, they've already completed 2 of the possible 4 objectives they need to complete. They're required to complete 3 of 4 objectives. They've completed 2 each. The objectives this week were take Gao to the Gao Manor and speak with the resident. Kill Dadaluma. Get Terra and equip her with the Maduin Esper. or use the Bahamut Esper in a fight with a dragon.
So Jackham is currently in battle with a guard.
I didn't realize that was an amphibious war machine.
Well, it can emulate Ultros.
I suppose so.
Perhaps he is channeling his inner octopus.
Would that we all should channel our inner octopus.
Luckily, Bolt found and Guardian is incredibly weak to it.
Yep. We're about to see what that gives him. Meanwhile, Ridley here is going to be, or SP Ridley is going to be showing us what's at Alzer's house.
Oh, wow. I'd be crying right now if I did both Serpent Trench and the Elite River, and both were just dead checks.
What was the Elite River check?
Tiger Fangs.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that character progression at Alzer's might be what they need to catch up here.
Yep. We'll see shortly. The likelihood of it being a realm check is pretty low. I mean, that's what, 2 and 7 for character progression?
Something like that.
It's pretty low.
And then if they avoid Elite River, that's definitely a means to pull ahead.
We're looking at Molbiz right now. Let's see what this might be. Oh, we got Sabin at Molbiz, so yep.
Well,
Terra.
I like to call Sabin the check master.
What? And why is that?
Because when you get him, well, the tracker that I have, the one I made, that one, it just lights up as soon as you click. He just has so many checks. I actually like that all of his checks, they're like in the same general area, so I like to do what I call the Sabin sweep. Just get all those on the right side.
Just do like Rizzo Pass, Imperial Camp, and Phantom Train all at once.
Yeah, and you can like save scum most of them. Like you can save scum Phantom Train and Imperial Camp. But the Imperial Camp save scumming is only useful if you don't need a character anymore, because you can reset if you see it's a character and you don't want one, and that saves a lot of time.
Vamp getting a good roll with those fixed dice and making quick work of Dadaluma. He is back on schedule to do some Terra checks now. Looks like our Alzer house boss is Piranhas. Vanity going right for Sabin as well. Just straight in.
Did anybody see a clown just a second ago?
Yeah. Molbiz. Second boss.
Alright, Jackham is stopping at Zen. Probably to pick up that Esper and do the collapsing house all in one go.
Yep, that's what I would guess as well.
Although it's not guaranteed anymore, and I wonder what he says if he doesn't sell an Esper. Oh, and that's Locke.
Well, this seed cracked open really fast. The characters.
Yeah, it looks like...
Now we're really going to get to see that team dynamic play off, because they've got a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, it looks like the preferred progression here was definitely grab Terra, do Fun Baba, and get Savage. Now this seat is wide open.
Yep, But you never know. I mean, it could be that behind Inferno you have a lurking Cyan, and Cyan could have both Espers in his dreams. You know, we don't know.
That's true. I actually didn't catch if the overworld character was a character that you can recruit or not down in the Esper Mountain, because you can see before.
I didn't see it either.
Yeah, if you don't know, Locke opens up quite a bit. In World of Ruin Narsh, he can pick up the Cursed Shield, which there's a chance that it will uncurse very quickly, and that's a Paladin Shield right there, which is the strongest item in the game, in my opinion. Aside from that, he can also pick up another rare item or Esper down in the weapon shop while he's getting that.
Wait, did you just say that he got a Paladin Shield from the Titan guy?
Oh, no. I was talking about with Locke, you can go pick up the Cursed Shield. What this Titan guy is. It's just a Ragnarok. I mean, I say that just a Ragnarok, but a 1000 GP Ragnarok. I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, me too. No kidding.
Imagine World of Ruin Narsh is going to be on one of their agendas here.
Did we see what Esper Ridley got from Auser? Shiva, it looks like. Okay.
Yeah, Shiva, however you pronounce it.
No glowing stone there for you, sir. Genji shield or a red jacket, your call.
Honestly, a tough decision.
Yeah, let's see how good this curse shield is. It is a 29.
I wouldn't bother with that personally, but
probably wouldn't either. They have a ribbon, but at the same time.
Epstar's been
Sealed Cave.
Like for a bit now. I wonder if he's experiencing any difficulties.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, there he goes. Back in action.
Alright, so we got the tunnel armor check on Jackman's screen, and it's a Rexel. Okay, yeah, the 200 damage Ragnarok hit from Locke's just gonna finish him off, and he's gonna take off. For a Minerva. Yeah, I'd probably tell Mr. Entity about that. He immediately goes.
totally like that idea.
Really run into some pugs.
I
Ouch.
I don't think he knows to run away. These things are gonna. I don't know. He might be able to make it through him, but I would not be chancing it. And yes, Ridley is still at Kefkatnar. She has had a rough go of it.
Get through the pugs.
Go through them.
Looks like Team Dickinson's is checking the east side of the map now.
Found Crusader at the Imperial camp just now.
Like a pretty decent Esper there. Yeah, no, I abbreviated it. Let's just be thankful I didn't abbreviate it even more.
It looks like, yes, I'm thankful. It looks like that Minerva was too spicy for Mr. Entity to pass up. So that Minerva is coming with him, and we have Ramu on the Phantom train.
Yeah, Minerva, if you don't know, gives you complete fire, ice, and bolt immunity. As well as, I feel like there's one more effect I'm missing. But those effects in itself make you pretty much invulnerable to a lot of bosses.
Most elemental attacks given by Minerva. I want to say poisons also. The arrow is what it was. Wind arrow attacks.
Yeah, I think it does add MP, which is kind of a nice effect. So Vampstar climbing up to the top of Zozo. I think the Team Galloping Dickinson's skipped this one.
Yeah, we haven't seen this check for either team so far.
This is where the vanilla Data Luma is.
Mm-hmm.
Jackim is checking out those monster in the boxes now, it seems like. I respect it. I've been doing that a lot more too myself.
Yep, Ridley's going to Welk, it looks like. And are we getting another crack at Esper Mountain? Is that what this is? Or is this Mount Colts? Mount Colts. And we have an octopus.
It's a little ironic, really, that the Calamari team are both fighting Ultros right now.
I love it. Also, we know this is Ultros 2 because it is pincer attack.
Ah, yeah, so Vampstar tried sketching him, but actually you can sketch Ultros 3.
Yep.
So here's the differences. Ultros 1 is halfway submerged in water. Ultros 2 is located in the center and is a pincer attack. Ultros 3 is located in like the normal monster position. So that's the one you can sketch.
And he also, if the fight goes on, is the one that can shimmy or move.
Yeah. And then Ultros 4 is the one that is sort of closer to your team because he can spawn Chupin later in the fight.
Yes, and he also doesn't have a splash entrance. We're going to see a lot of checks really quick here. So I'm looking over here at Mr. Entity's screen. He's finishing up Mount Colts, just killed the tunnel armor that was there, and it looks like he is going to get something for his trouble. What's it going to be? It's Tritok. Another Magicite, but not the one they were looking for. It looks like Phantom Train just got beaten, and that was from Baba 2, if I am not mistaken. And here's our Zozo check.
Ooh, it's Cyan.
That's a pretty spicy find.
Definitely, that dream check is pretty powerful.
And meanwhile,
it looks like
it's going to get Sabin from Molbiz.
Yeah, so definitely their team's starting to get some headway now.
Yeah, they're gonna have a good split amongst them as well. So Cyan checks take time.
Yeah, I think in co-op this is exactly what you want to see. One person finds a big character right when another person does, and then you just split them up.
Here comes Rizzo Pass. We have a Sasquatch at the Rizzo Pass.
Yeah, I really should have no problem getting through this Kefka.
Yeah.
And at this point, I don't think Mr. Nerty or Jack are worried about too many bosses. Maybe a statue or a Magi Master could give them a run for their money.
Let's see what's at Doma. Now this is the real mean thing about this randomizer. For those of you who haven't put two and two together, they have to search everywhere for these extra two little espers, and with each thing that they find individually, all of their monsters and bosses are going up 2 levels. So by finding more things in their game, because they're searching for these objectives, it's arbitrarily making everything they do more difficult.
There is a silver lining, though, because they will get more rewards for their trouble. They'll get more GP and XP from the enemies they are able to defeat.
So we have Chatternook at Doma. There's a non-character award.
Yeah, this fight, it's got a lot of HP, but the magic is all just your basic elemental spells, so things like wall rings or good equipment can help you get through.
I mean, really just one big roll of that fixed dice is all, or a flare proc.
Looks like Jackamus. Jackamus is gonna plunge into Owzers. We know that that's gonna be an Esper for him. Meanwhile, Mr. Entity will soon make his way up and find Cyan.
Now, if you're Jacobus, are you thinking that you want to go get that Scion as well? To get to 7?
No, I don't think so, because they're not that close to the Esper requirement. I would rather naturally find the 7th character, finding while looking for other checks, and then if I have my 10 Espers at the end, then I'll go get the Scion as my last check. But because that way, if you do find a character while looking for Espers, then you're not just getting a unnecessary extra character, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, keep in mind,
it's definitely making life difficult for Ram.
Keep in mind, this is a sped up version of this fight from Vanilla. The lady phase lasts much shorter.
Mr. Entity, first to reach 7 characters.
Yeah, I imagine he's going to plunge right into Cyan's Dream.
I don't know that he'll do that. I think he'll probably go to do the Domo check, just like Dan did. It's a really, it's a much faster check to do normally.
That's true, but they already checked the eastern side of the map, so maybe they'd feel a little weird going back right away. But maybe that's just a me thing. So yeah, he's just gonna check it out, and he's gonna be fighting that Chatternook.
Let's see what they get for it, though. Vamp just dealt with it.
Terra just received 9,000 XP, and unfortunately, with those other 3 characters dead, that XP gets a little bit wasted.
Just a Genji armor.
Well, sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yep.
Picks up a Cherub down, though. And that actually does have some uses. You can apply Float without having access to the spell. That's good for Dirt Dragon and also for the final boss if you plan on doing AoE damage to the first phase. Jack's gonna go try to find something nice at the auction house.
There's a really good chance that there could be something here. 2 possible Esper locations in one spot, plus, that's the MacGuffin they're after. They're trying to find those Espers.
I definitely would not skip out on the auction house in these circumstances, because what if your Madwing's there or your Bahamut?
Mm-hmm. Glowing stones are available.
So I believe I've heard in the Discord that if you do this check in World of Ruin and you buy the treasures, they don't appear again and increase your chance of getting an Esper.
I did not know that. Is that confirmed?
I would like confirmation on that because I still am not 100% sure.
I don't know.
Well, it's only in World of Ruin and only if they actually purchase the treasure. So if they reset, then they'll just stay there.
All right. Oh boy. Jackamus is getting very unlucky with this RNG.
Looks like Vampstar's heading towards the Lee River, and we know that that's a dead check. That's going to take a while.
Yes, indeed. Ridley's going to go for Phantom Train. So really our source of progression looks to be coming from the Galloping Dickinsons here. They're doing the new stuff. Behind number 128. Maybe we might see an Esper here.
I think an interesting strategy could have been to have somebody check the auction house early in case there's just a really powerful Esper, and then tell the teammate about it if that happens to be the case. If you didn't know, all you need to get to do the auction house check, 30,000 GP.
And some time.
Yeah, and potentially the rest of your afternoon, depending on how kindly RNG wants to treat you.
Well, someone was talking about the Sasquatch being present in this seed, and sure enough, he's going to be at the end of the Doma Dream.
Sasquatch confirmed, real.
You got to be getting a little bit frustrated if you're Jackamus right now.
Well, whenever you decide to do this check, this is what you sign up for.
Yep.
It is available from the start. It is pretty low requirements, and I hardly see anybody do it.
I almost feel like this is one of those ones that actually benefits from the fact that you're on a team. I would almost send both players there.
Honestly, not a bad idea.
Just to get double the checks in until someone finds out what's what, you know?
And I imagine what's going on here is that there's only one Esper here, so it's even harder to actually get. Or maybe he's just really unlucky.
There's always the really unlucky possibility.
Hey, there he goes.
There it is.
Starlet.
Just what you wanted to see, right, Jackamus?
Well, if he gets the Bahamut or the Madouine before hitting that 10 Esper mark, then this is still a valuable check to him.
That's true. We have Ultros 3 as boss number 2.
Yep, just that starlet there at the auction house. No more glowing stone.
That's painful. I don't think he would have ever done that check normally. Now that we're kind of at this, like, what feels kind of like the halfway point, what do you think about the 2v2 format so far, Drew? As someone who races a lot.
Looks very interesting. Yeah, definitely something I'd want to try out. Just so many more potential for strategizing.
Which I think is the whole point, you know, is we want variability in routing and in strategizing. And you really can't get more varied routing than something like this, in my opinion. Because everybody's constantly reacting to the checks that each other are getting, you know?
Yeah, and then, like, what checks do you share and what checks, like, how powerful does a check need to be for you to go and both do it as opposed to only one? And then, you know, like, from the start, you can even have a strategy going in, like, maybe, like, I'll do all these, I'll do all the shopping, all the freebie check,
or
like,
South Figaro or something, yeah, and get a little bit more of coverage that way, sure.
And I'd definitely be looking for a grind spot to share as well, because that's a big part of this. Mr. Entity and Jackamus getting, they're pretty much at the end game levels, getting up there, actually, maybe not quite.
That's an excellent thing that I hadn't even considered it until now. They picked up Cyan in Zozo, but they never did Cyan Zozo check.
Oh, yes, and that's actually a freebie.
Yeah, so it looks like we're about to see that now from Jackamus here. Meanwhile, Mr. Entity is going up and doing that Umaro check and Tritalk spot.
Wonder if he'll slay the dragon.
I would leave it in case they find Bahamut at one of these two spots.
Ah, yeah, that's a good point. But it looks like he's interested in it anyway. Of course, he could always have Jack go and cast Bahamut on it.
That's true.
So it looks like both of the calamari, they're both in a tough boss fight at the moment. And also, imagine getting run down through the forest by Fun Baba. That's got to be the scariest thing I can think of.
Just running from a giant obese lizard.
You gotta imagine he's like running at you like King K. Rool in Donkey Kong.
That's so true. Oh, we have a Magicite here. What's it gonna be? Modwin! We found it.
Well, there's our objective complete.
Yes. That is equipped to Terra. Their team is good to go. Now they can optimize their strats to finishing the game. So we have...
Well, Juzel, with a train, at least you could like dodge roll to the side and it'll just keep going.
Yep.
Fun Baba, he can just stop on a dime and then turn around and chase you the other direction.
So now we're business as usual for for Mr. Envy's team here. They just need to figure out what of the checks that they've experienced so far, which ones are the quickest ones to get espers from. Would it be crazy if Tritalk was bottomlet?
Mr. Ernie picks up an Odin, so they got both Raiden and Odin, making Cyan's unique ability to cleave not as unique anymore, not as needed. They do not need Bahamut. They needed one or the other because they only need to complete 3 of the 4 objectives.
So they completed the 3 objectives they completed were take Gao to Gao Manor and speak with the resident, kill Dataluma, both of which happened in the first 10 minutes of the race. And then they found the Mado and Esper and equipped it to Terra.
So they have a Meriton there on Starlight. That was the auction house reward, right?
Yes.
So Meriton's actually really good if you have the right equipment. Every elemental shield will protect you from Meriton. Yeah, Minerva will also protect you from Meriton. Some items like the Flame Shield outright heal you from it. And also, Meriton cannot be runicked, so you can still use it if you have Celas just using runic, but unfortunately I don't think we'll see that this seed. All that, and it's an extremely high power spell. So let's see here what's here at Barren Falls.
So it looks like Jacquemus is going to be the first one to enter pure go mode. He's going to have 7 and 10 as soon as he finishes off number 24 here.
Yeah, I don't know if Jack's going to tell Mr. Ernie to go do that auction house or not.
Fairly doubtful, but there are a couple of...
wow, what an Esper.
That Alexander?
Yeah.
What did it have on it?
I think I saw Flare. And then a bunch of other cool looking spells.
Very good.
All right, I wonder if Jack's going to just head straight for the tower.
Well, the earlier he finishes, the better off their average will be. There's a very good chance he might just go all out for it.
I think so, because he just warped out and he could have went and checked the Umaros, but... Which actually I would have done anyway. Because you can see what it is before you even fight it. And there's some treasure in there. But no, I think he thinks he's ready for KT, so we'll see how it pans out. Oh, Umaro is Go-Go. Okay, so I guess they probably saw that on their way up the mountain in World of Balance. And yeah, I agree. You don't really need Go-Go at this point. So yeah, teleporting out was probably the right thing to do for sure. With Unscaled Kefka, I find sub 30, like levels below 30, very, very risky. But Jacquemus is a good player, so we'll see if he can pull it off.
He's also getting XP from bosses, so that helps.
Yeah, it does help a bit. Though The XP isn't quite as much as you think because your parties are split up, so not everybody's receiving all the XP like they would normally.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, there's some heavy-hitting bosses we have not seen yet.
We haven't seen a single statue this game.
Yeah, I mean, they could all be vanilla. I had a seed like that yesterday where I fought Goddess and Fire Chicken vanilla.
Gross.
And then, of course, Magimaster. If you run into that guy here, you're going to have to come up with something to figure that fight out. Very hard as it is, even with a full party, but with a split party.
Now, I'll tell you, from as far as difficulty level goes, this one was probably, for the objectives that they had to find to be able to complete this seed, this was maybe a 6 out of 10. There were two of them that are way up there in terms of it would have been hard for them to find all of the stuff that they needed to find. This one,
yeah,
ooh, Jacobus.
I think that's a fair difficulty rating. Early on, they had pretty good equipment to work with. There was a few rabbit holes, but nothing that like wasted too much time, and like they made the characters powerful, like the Elite River and the Serpent Trench. I think we need to hold our judgment off just a little bit until we see the rest of the boss in KT, though, because I mean, you can have a pace like this and make it still go.
I was talking about the random extra objectives.
Ah.
Of the other 9 categories, they hit one that was just a little above the average in terms of difficulty. There's some objectives that are much, much easier than this. Others that are much, much harder. So
I think they got lucky.
They did pretty well. They got lucky. They got very lucky. Like, don't get me wrong, I threw the Gao one in, the Gao to Gao Manor one in there as kind of a gimme. Find the character which you're likely to find, you know.
Yeah.
And go walk over here and you're good. But
they did have both characters they needed right at the start. First, like basically the first check.
Yep.
And the Data Luma fight was the same check that gives you Terra. 2 objectives done right away. Well, I mean, you still need to find Madeline, but you have a decent chance, like, because you got to find 10 Espers anyway. There's 27 Espers, so like roughly a little better than 1/3 chance that you'd get it just normal.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely some good teamwork. As soon as one of the players found something good, they told the other one about it, and they went and grabbed it as well.
Yeah, that's true of both groups. Like, you can tell that they're humming along just fine with the shared knowledge that they've got. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm actually watching the Discord right now to see if we start seeing .duns from other teams as well, because we have some other racers that are very good racers that are off stream as well.
Yeah, I imagine you could complete this seed in probably 130 if you played it really well and coordinated really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna ask Jack in this, and once they complete, I'm curious to know if he feels like the extra objectives arbitrarily made the seed take longer with the shared information, because that ultimately is what the whole goal is of those is to not make having perfect information from your partner make the seed too easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
Oh my goodness, that talking Guardian spot.
Good thing he has some fire spells.
Yeah. Could you imagine if the MacGuffin hunt had been find Tritalk instead of find Dabaluna, though? Like,
oh yeah,
that would have been gross.
It had potential to be 3 hours, that's for sure. Because we could have had 14 characters be a thing. We could have had Boss and KT be a thing.
We could have had, yeah. I mean, we could have had Maduin or Bahamut be on Atma Weapon too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, there's no guarantee.
Looks like Mr. Ernty's doing some dragon hunting.
Good XP, great magic points. I think looks a dragon. That's all there was to it.
I think I love the new changes to the dragons. They're so fun. You get so much XP, AP, well, MP I should say. It's AP in the EA version. Oh, and gold and 2 items.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Actually, no gold. I guess a gem box for it, so.
So good.
See how awesome they are?
And and he's going to get the Maduin Esper himself, because he knows it's a quick free check that'll get him to 9.
Meanwhile, Jack's downloading all the data about KT. So Mr. knowing exactly what he's going to expect. Vampstar going to head into Collapsing House. This was where Locke was found, so it's a great place. The seed itself, though, as far as standard seed goes, pretty linear, I'd say. I don't know if there was any huge character diverging.
Nothing that we got to see. We don't know if there was anything off of Realm still, because no one went back and killed Inferno.
It's true.
We also don't really know if there was an earlier fork in Sabin or Locke or Terra in that chain. So But I think it's safe to say that it was a fairly comfortable seed for everybody all around. Wow, look at the ease that Jackamus is getting in KT right now. He's had Welk, Efreet, and Shiva.
This could be sub 140 with objectives.
Definitely not my expectation. My expectation was that it was going to be a roughly 2 to 2.5 hour slog. They're making quick work of it.
So yeah, Mr. Nerdy tracking down that last Esper while Jackamus is getting ready for Kefka. Now, Mr. Nerdy, the only Esper he needs that Jack also got is the auction house. So Mr. Nerdy may be forced to check somewhere else if he doesn't want to do the auction house. Because he does know, if Jack told him, that there's only one Esper there. So the potential time that he could spend there is quite high. So it's a tough call.
Yeah, if you're him, where do you go from here? Like, if you're shooting for another Esper, would you go?
Well, I would definitely go for the guaranteed because that's how I always played when there were guarantees. Because let's say you check 3 places and they're all dead, and then by that time you most likely would have gotten your guaranteed. But obviously there's like a risk reward for going for other checks instead, because if you get it on the first check you try, then you're probably saving time over that slow guaranteed. But, oh, he cannot enter the tower. I thought you could enter the tower now with to do Atma.
That's surprising. I will have to ask Atmatek about that.
Yeah, I imagine that was his idea. I think he's just gonna have to bite the bullet and go do that auction house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looks like he's heading there now.
Oh, I bet he is going to be salty about this one. Oh no, he's going to do Owsers because he knows his Owsers is one as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So he's all right.
I didn't realize Mr. Nerdy never did Owsers. He's going to be like level 45. I didn't know that Rinkyu. That's interesting. I thought that you could still enter Kefka's tower and do it early, but maybe that's just an urban legend. Because I know I'd definitely never seen anybody try to do it.
Yeah, like I said, I definitely want to talk to Atmatek about that because I feel like he would want to find a way to open that up. Because it used to be that Atma weapon spot was an Esper check.
So Jack starting up that tier 1. Looks like you got hit pretty hard by some physical attacks. Beating up that right arm, I imagine he just didn't equip Odin or Raiden, or...
How triggered would you be if you were Mr. Entity wasting fire 3s on this silly magic urn, only to have it use an Elixir on Saban to run away?
Hey, it's free magic points.
I suppose. We'll give a shout out real quick to our restream team. We have Dark Fowls, who is restreaming the race for us. We have Ikir, who's doing tracking. I'm Scott, and I go by Ultros on Twitch. And I'm here with Drulith, who's my co-commentator. We have Team The Galloping Dickinsons, composed of Mr. Entity and Jackamus Wedge, who are playing against Team Calamari Dynasty, composed of Vampstar 87 and SP Ridley. And we're racing a randomizer of Final Fantasy VI, which, if you're interested in taking a look at our community or becoming a part of it or trying to race something like this yourself, please feel free to join our Discord or go to ff6wc.com for more information.
Yes, we are very friendly to newcomers, and we'll help you out. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer them.
One of the things that I was so excited about with this particular race is how many brand new people that don't normally race ended up signing up this time around for the 2v2. It was really great.
Joyzel, there are other randomizers for this game, but they weren't designed particularly for racing. They can still be raced, however. There's Beyond Chaos, which randomizes several things like similar to Worlds Collide, like Esper locations and stuff, but the storyline is mainly intact and you can just go through it like you would the vanilla game. There's also Brave New World, which is like it's like a rebalance mod. It's pretty cool. I'd also check that one out.
And while this is our first 2v2 race that we've done for this randomizer, the next 2v2 race that we do is going to be a mentor race. So we're going to have a bunch of experienced players sign up, and we're going to try and pair them with inexperienced or newer players who are looking to get into trying out the randomizer and acquainting themselves with how to play the game, and so there will be a little bit more interaction between the racers as you're able to actually use the experienced player as a learning resource if you're someone who's new to racing or new to this randomizer generally, but maybe not necessarily new to Final Fantasy VI, for example. So that'll be in a couple weeks. We'll announce it in the Discord, so please be sure to join the Discord so that you can be up to date on what we're racing and when. We always have a weekly restreamed race at this time every Saturday, but there are constant pickup races and things like that are happening all the time. We have an asynchronized weekly race, the Seed of the Week, that we generate every week, and so there's plenty of activity going on, if you're not able to necessarily make it a Saturday evening.
Yes, definitely a lot of fun to be had, and the asyncs are really easy to work into the schedule.
Yep.
You can run them on your own time. and it's all controlled through the Discord, so it's easy to participate, easy to submit your time.
We're going to have another fun event that we're going to announce, community event that we're going to announce later tonight after we interview the first place winners of this season.
This is news to me. I'm excited.
Yep. Dark Valves will be coming in here and talking about it.
Is Mr. Entity still grinding?
Looks like it. I think he's much more intimidated by the unscaled Kefka fight that Jacobus just decided to leap into face first.
Yeah, I mean, Jack's wailing away at him, but he's getting it done, it looks like.
No, slowly but surely, he's
Maybe maybe Jack informed Mr. Entity that the KT bosses are pretty easy. So maybe he's just looking to one-shot everything and finish or try to save time by getting to a high level so he doesn't spend as much time in the Kefka fight.
Right.
Over the XP, he's getting to that point, that level where the XP gains are not going to be as efficient, just because that level cap will come into effect, which is currently at level 36. So if the XP starts to come in slowly, that's when I think it's time to finally go in.
There you are. Ridley and Vamp have not finished the objectives. They have not found Maduin on Mount Zozo at the moment.
It looks like Vamp's going to check out Wilderoo and Narsh, which I believe was quite fruitful. An Esper. Yeah, that's actually one Esper at the Tri-Talk location. And we know Goga from the Umaro's cave.
Yes.
Oh, he's picking up Bum Rush. What a twist.
Interesting. We watched this happen last week in the weekly race with, I think Marth was the one who... Martha Zenovian was the one that ground out to get Bum Rush. You think that'll save him much time?
It just depends. If his Sabin didn't have any other option, then yeah, I do think it'll save some time. The cutscene's like, what, a minute long? So if you're already that level, you might as well pick it up. I imagine that Sabin will hit close to the damage cap with that, so... And it looks like Jacquemus is See, I was worried about him before he went in. I was like, is he going to grind? Now there's a lot of pressure on him, because if he does wipe here and his teammates creeping up on him with even more levels, might be a bad vibe if he finishes before Entity does, even though he had access to KT way before.
That's right.
But he's hanging in there, and Terra sort of keeping the team up because she has that Minerva, and she's most of the day.
Phoenix play just now.
Yeah, that's we don't get to see it used too often. But yeah, Phoenix is a very powerful Esper. It will revive everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So just like that, back in the fight.
You get taken out of it real quick, though.
And I find with Unscaled Kefka, Phase 2 to be the hardest. Phase 3 is relatively the same as in Scaled, and Kefka is much more manageable because you can use knowledge of his thresholds and stuff to avoid most of his attack.
Mm-hmm.
So finally past that tough Phase 2, we'll see if Phase 3 is kind. Now, Phase 3 is by no means free, because if you get Sleep, which is the man, if you get him down to a certain threshold, he will counter with Meteo, and then he can use Meteo as his normal turn when he's on low HP as well. So you gotta tank 2 Meteos potentially on all your characters, and that's at Unscaled. That's most likely going to wipe you out unless you have like 3,000 plus HP.
Yep, that's a good question. I don't. What do you think Jacquemus's plan for Calmness is?
I'll be honest, I don't think he has one. Oh, apparently they did find Finra.
Okay.
So I bet we'll be seeing that then. Otherwise, I mean, there's always an option to just pray. Calmness is just a physical attack, and it can be evaded.
Where is Vamp that he found in Narapa? Morrow Cave. Oh, he's going to get a go-go.
I got Trance Terra launching some flares. Now I believe... Okay, so it hit the damage cap anyway, but I believe that a Fire 3 or a Bolt 3 or Ice 3 will actually do more damage than a Flare in most circumstances when you're in Morph.
Yeah, just because of the double magic power scaling.
Yeah, exactly. Any idea why Entity is fighting some tentacles right now?
They're in KT.
Ah, so it's the Bog Dance. Yeah, it's always confusing. Yeah, I must have missed the KT entry there.
Yep. I mean, he's right on the heels of Jacquemus right now.
Yeah, final phase, you got to play it slow. So he could honestly catch him. And his Terra is down for the count. And his Sabin is down for the count. That's very, very devastating. You hate to see it happen.
Yeah.
So, Realm and Locke, they can still do this, but it gets scary. Once he's below 15,000 HP, you don't have too many options to get around that Ultima counter. And the only thing you can really do is wait for him to start shaking for Goner. But he can do all kinds of stuff while you're waiting on that.
Look at that unmuffled cow. I feel very bad for him right now.
Well, when you've been running this game for a while, we've all been in this situation, and I was there last week. I died to Kefka when he had 8,000 HP left, so I forfeited. That is just.
We're gonna get to see a new check out of Vampstar here. I wonder if they're gonna find Bahamut before they find Moderwin.
That would be interesting. Vampstar also taking the lead over his teammate Ridley. I believe Ridley was ahead in checks like espers and characters for most of the seed.
Yes, that's true. So rare Alexander play against Kefka.
Yeah, it's just this fight's so rough with low damage. And also with Mog being raged like that, I don't like that. Okay, well now he's been KO'd, it shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, if you have him just hitting off attacks and all willy-nilly, you're gonna get countered by something eventually.
Yep. Did we see Phoenix Cave on Eddie Jackman's side?
Don't think so. So this will be completely brand new. Shadow.
Oh boy, there's a rabbit hole.
Well, I think everybody would have wanted to have this guy around.
Yep.
They'd known about him. So I imagine they might close this seed out at the floating continent after checking Gao's house, Gao's dad's. That is assuming they want to go down that rabbit hole. Obviously, they have other options available too.
Poor Vamp.
Poor Jack.
Yeah,
But I mean, if he did have the Fenrir and he didn't use it, it is a bit of a bit unfortunate. Okay, he's taking off the shield. That's actually a really good idea. You can use that once he gets lower to get these big hits in. You want to do as much damage as possible per hit once he's lower on HP.
While he's prepping for Goner right now.
Honestly, this Goner could be the end. Oof.
Oh.
Luckily, it doesn't counter after that hit from Luck, but I don't know if he can get out of this.
Could you imagine if he had gotten the flash at 35 health?
Ooh. Kefka's going to use Revenger. That will not damage anybody. However, if his HP is low enough, he will start using those Havoc Wings, and he'll use 2 a turn, I believe.
Yep.
But nope, we got double Revenger, so he could bring this back. I believe if he's low enough, he can also use Meteor, so that would be something. But it looks like the end is now coming beyond Chaos, which is going to give him a chance to heal up. Or just outright end the fight. I wonder what he's going to go for here. Is he going to play it defensively, or is he just going to try to...
All offense.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. He's taking off the shield. I wonder if he knows you can steal a Mega Elixir from him. But nope, that's going to be it. He just barely manages to get through Kefka.
Incredible. He had a lock with 35 health, and that was it at one point during that Kefka fight.
Yeah, not quite a goner. And if he didn't get that damage off like that, if he didn't unequip those shields, he would have been done for, I'm afraid. But he manages to have good awareness of the situation and pull out a W. And Mr. Serenity trailing right behind. Looks like Ridley's fighting on the airship. I believe that has to be the floating continent boss.
It's the random encounters leading up to the floating continent boss. And
Oh,
he's got level 90 magics waiting for him.
that's so rude.
Looks like Vamp is up to 10 characters. He found a save Setzer inside of that Zone Eater. I think Jax paused his stream / game once he killed Kefka. So maybe the end of Jack and Mrs. Restream.
Looks like Vamp Star fighting some fairy children.
So Jackamus is the first player in the race of all the players to finish. His time is 1:49.09.
Very excellent time given the circumstances.
I mean, I'm sure he would have been at sub 130 if he didn't have the extra random stuff that he had to go try and get. 5 or 6 minutes he wasted at Auction House. And splitting the quick checks with Entity.
So Vamp Star must have picked up Setzer at some point, because I saw him doing Doom Gaze, and now he's going to Daryl Toon.
Setzer, I believe, inside of Zone Eater. Double check.
That would make sense, because he did grab Go-Go and then went immediately there.
Yep. He's inside of Zone Eater.
I never realized that Esper comes out of Terra at the end here. Wonder what magic it teaches. Hey, we got another finish. Zenobian, second place. Well, not truly second because it's a team race, but his time is 1:54.30 off the restream.
That's very good. But now it's going to all come down to their teammates. How far in is Zenobian's partner versus
Exactly. This could be close. Now, Mr. Entity, he's very powerful. But also, I think the Zenobian's teammate I think they play together a lot as well, so I would not be surprised if their coordination is really good.
I know Zenobian and his teammate were practicing earlier this week, and I know Mr. Entity and Jackamus were practicing.
Looks like we got word from the chat from Spomo that Xenos partners on phase 2, so that would put Team Zenobian in the lead, I believe, slightly, maybe not, because Jackamus has a 5-minute advantage.
Right.
So it's hard to say, honestly.
Yes, it's all about how much time was Jackamus able to buy. You know what I mean?
That and how quickly is Zenobian's teammate progressing through, because Mr. Entity, he's going to breeze through this Kefka fight, I think. So Ridley finally landing on the floating continent, and looks like he's going to get an Esper. We'll be one away from the go mode if it's Bahamut. Otherwise, we'll have to go find that Madeline from the Mount Soza.
Yep. It's a unicorn.
That's close to Bahamut, right? Close enough?
Sure.
Alright, Entity now entering the fight. Vampstar got Celes from that Daryl's tomb, didn't he?
He sure did. He's got to be getting triggered that he hasn't found 10 Espers yet.
Well, he knows one's on the floating continent.
What did he find in her jail cell just now?
Oh, looks like another character I didn't catch. Edgar, okay. I don't know how a train got up to this floating continent.
So what characters haven't we seen? There's two remaining, right? We haven't seen Strago. I think that might be it. I think we just haven't seen Strago. Yeah, because Vamp has 12 and he's missing Shadow. So yeah, we just don't know where Strago is. It's the only one that's left.
Maybe he's on this floating continent.
Very well could be.
So yeah, Ridley's gonna have to fight 2, at minimum, force encounters and then a force boss fight. And then we'll be able to see what the final progression here is. So Mr. Entity making use of the Odin to take out that, who is that, Tools? I believe instantly from the fight. Seeing that bum rush he picked up in action. Very big chunk of damage. And these flare procs are definitely helping too. Vampstar finds an Atma weapon underneath Castle Figaro.
Oh boy. And the fire
Fire chicken on the floating continents. Just a lot of strokes of bad luck.
Absolutely. It's a fire chicken with a 5-minute timer on it. It's even worse.
Yeah, definitely that timer adding a lot of pressure to the fight. Oh, he has stopped. I wonder if he's aware that you can stop this boss. Would be a good way to make the boss fights a lot more manageable.
Vamp finds Bahamut.
And it's behind a lot of characters, so I hope that's not what Ridley to do.
So much stuff. Holy Moses. That's crazy.
Let's just... Oh, well, okay, wait, now... they only need to complete the objectives as a team, so Ridley is not going to have to deal with all that.
So Ridley will not have to go do it. It's just crazy to me that it was Ancient Castle, of all places, that had Bahamut.
Yeah, behind like a chain of 8 characters.
A billion things, yeah.
So Phase 2 seems to have a reputation now of slowing people down a bit, as Mr. Nernty has been here for a while now. But I imagine he's pretty close to defeating it. We still have not received word of a finish from Zenobian's teammate. And just as I say that, he's moving on to Tier 3. Now let's see what this floating continent is hiding. Vampstar is going to run to the Opera House. We have not seen this one yet, as he's the only one with Celes. He also... oh, he's actually not doing the Opera House. He's going to defeat the dragon in World of Ruin. Because he's going to cast Bahamut on it.
Yep. Yes, dude.
I wonder if he will go to World of Bounce, look for the Esper.
So Ridley's ready to go. He's in go mode now.
Yeah, he can just go right on in.
And here's Sunflare. Da-da-da. Objective complete.
Mission complete.
This is right around the time I figured that they would be finished.
Yeah.
Like this is appropriate to what I thought the challenge was going to be finishing at.
Serenity now eating a Meteor. But I think his HP is so high that he doesn't care that much, and he's got Cure 3.
Yep.
Everybody looking healthy. Calmness only going to take Locke out of the game, so much better luck than his teammate.
Yep. Rest in peace, Locke. You weren't meant for the end of the world. Yeah, time for Vamp to find the final goal. Oh my god.
This
Vamp
is
so mad.
This is just.
You see what's happening here?
I see it, but I don't want to process.
Oh, I cannot wait to get him in a call after this. Oh my goodness. How triggering will that be?
Ridley also in World of Ruin, Zozo, but maybe just looking for a grind spot. So Mr. Entity sitting at low HP. There's the Cure 3. I think it's likely that even if he gets counter ultimate, he will have enough to survive with HP. But here's the Goner, and I think he's just gonna burst him down, and I think that'll probably be about it.
Yeah, Vamp's triggered. I think he's equipped that thing with Terra like 10 times. Ooh, that is a finish for Zenobian's team. Combined time of 4 hours, 1 minute, and 48 seconds.
Mr. Entity still fighting. But I imagine that this bum rush will do it. I've seen a lot of big numbers over on that screen.
Yep, that's it. And so Mr. Entity finishes.
Very close race.
2 hours, 8 minutes, making the average time 3 hours, 57 minutes, 17 seconds, which means that the galloping Dickinsons have won.
They've taken it by only 4 minutes, it looks like.
That's a little, about 4.5 minutes, yep. Very, very well done.
Oh, Ridley's found the Reach Frog, so great enemy to level up on quickly, while making a bunch of money too.
Also, just for kicks, the Zenobian and Inaudibly's team's name, the group that finished second, was Team Server Last.
So are we gonna?
We're gonna have Jackamus and Mr. Entity join us for an interview in a moment here. There's Jackamus. They should be joining us in just a moment here.
Look at that team synchronization. They both paused their stream on the exact frame.
Pretty sure that was Dark Fells that did it. Yeah.
Excellent team coordination.
All right, let's move to them then. GG, fellas.
Yeah, thanks.
A mighty win for the Galloping Dickinsons.
Seems like it was pretty close. I think our combined time was like 4 minutes ahead of the other people. So, good job then.
Really, really nice.
Nail biter there. At the end, we received word that Zenobian's partner was just minutes behind, and then it became a race.
Yeah, Jack finished pretty early by almost dying, apparently. So that got us a bit of a leeway for me to finish slightly behind the other two.
Yep. So, what are your thoughts on the new format?
I liked it. Jack apparently dropped out there again. We found Madeline pretty easily. I don't know where Bahamut was.
Bahamut was deep behind Logic.
Yeah. Vampstar, he unfortunately found Bahamut after getting like 5 extra characters, and then immediately went to Mount Zozo where he found Madeline, and yeah.
I imagine he wasn't terribly pleased at that then.
No. The progression was once you got Umaro, it was Gogo led to Setzer at Zone Eater. Setzer led to Celeste at Daryl's Tomb. Celeste led to Edgar at Jail Cell. Edgar led to Ancient Castle where Bahamut was.
Yeah, that's nuts. Because especially considering Gao and Dataluma were just free right at the start.
Yep.
So, were you relieved when you found Gao, Terra, and Dataluma pretty much all in the same first check?
Within the first 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, that was good. Like, the nature of the scavenger hunt meant that there was a really good chance you could go well over 10-7 for Esper's characters. But seeing that, at the start is like, okay, this takes a few specific things off of our list. It's basically a hunt for one of 2 Espers at that point, and in our case, at least, we were lucky enough to find it before we started getting like extra characters and Espers and the like there.
Mm-hmm. I personally would have checked off basically every check we had that wasn't a character before moving on. Right. That ridiculous rabbit hole the other team apparently.
But I feel like it's mitigated fairly well across 2 players. It's not nearly as bad. You can still get it done in a 2-hour window, 2.5-hour window with 2 players, even if it was a super deep check.
Oh yeah, no, good on them for getting all that crap done in 2 hours, frankly.
Yep.
And also, a potential strategy could be to have one person try to finish as fast as possible while the other one tries to find those deep checks for objectives.
Well, that was the key, was that the MacGuffin hunt had to go on. Players weren't allowed to kill Kefka until they had gotten through the objectives. So you could have gone into KT and seen if maybe Dataluma was there if you hadn't found him. But
that would have been rough.
Well, before the race, we were already discussing that we'd probably be better served trying to find the 2 specific espers rather than hunting down a specific boss in a pool of like 50-some potential boss fights.
Oh, I don't think it's quite that bad, but yes, it's a lot of boss fights.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of espers.
But then I found Dataluma like 3 minutes in, and it's like, okay, this might not be as tricky to scavenge the hunt as we initially thought.
I actually think that it was harder almost if being that your MacGuffin this time around was an Esper, because there are more checks than there are bosses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
There are 39 boss fights, but there's more than 39 possible checks. So it really meant that you were having to go out everywhere,
I definitely enjoyed it. Even just doing like the co-op race, the practice one we did, me and Jack, that was fun on its own. It's a very different feeling. But then adding that scavenger hunt on top of it is really interesting.
How do you feel about your team communication? Do you feel like it was on point, or maybe there were some things that you wish you would have known about, or how did it go in that regard?
I think it was pretty great, right?
Yeah, Jack and I have known each other since we were 4, so I think we're pretty good at talking to each other at this point.
Yeah,
do you feel like
a lot of our communication, on top of what's this check item and so forth, and there were a couple of situations where we'd basically drop everything and go do the check the other one did. After I got a little bit of power early on to go back and rematch Dataluma, I was about to land at Narsh, and then Entity was like, oh, Realm's on the Veld, so I'm like, alright, I'm just going to go pick her up and fight Dataluma with 2 characters instead. And then, the Ragnarok and the Serpent Trench was another auto pickup, since we both had Terra at that point, and, Morph Ragnarok hits are pretty damn potent, shall we say.
Absolutely.
And then, little things too, we'd communicate with each other. Okay, if you need them, you can buy hero rings in Narsh, Marvel shoes in Jador. Skip the chests in this area, they're all trash. Or you really want to pick up this one chest because it has the snow muffler and all that.
Did you feel like the practice that you had earlier in the week really paid off for you today?
Well, it was really only one go through, so it was just basically a vague familiarization rather than practice, but it was vaguely helpful to kind of know what we were getting into.
Do you feel like the approach that you take to the seed is different in a co-op environment than it is running solo?
It really is. With 2 people, if you so desire, you can spread out and check a whole lot of things at once, which was a lot of our strategy there.
There's a bunch of checks that I did, like the Inferno check at the start that Jack just never went to, for example.
Yeah, I went into Esper Mountain, grabbed the hero ring in the chest at the start, and left because nuts to that boss.
Yeah, and then I went and got the 2 ice shields in the returner space, but never did delete River because it was long and not great. So,
right,
it's quite.
Those ice shields saved my life in the final
Yes,
boss.
they did. It was very impressive to watch.
So we got a question from RenQ in chat. How about that auction?
Well,
I listened to you doing that.
Could basically summarize the few choice words I had while I was resetting for the better part of 10 minutes there.
That's one of those checks that we were talking about, and I was saying, probably is one of those checks where having 2 players do it at the same time is probably the best way to split that up, because
maybe you get more reps in quicker that way, but we were still hunting for Madu and Bahamut at that point, and since I was a little further ahead than Entity on progression, I decided, alright, I'm going to bite the bullet because those espers might be at the auction house.
Sure could.
He lost as much time to the auction house as I did to dying twice.
You went through Cyan's entire dream and then some while I was resetting at the auction house.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like if you were searching for like a specific Esper, like Maduin or whatever, it might be beneficial to have both of us going there at the same time. But if you're just straight up need an Esper, it's not really going to help you either way to have both people.
No, it's a waste. It's a waste of time when there's always going to be faster checks, even if they're unknown. Like 2 fast checks, I'd rather do than waste time at the auction house.
Yep.
Like go knock off Tritok in World of Ruin, or if you have Setzer, just fight whatever boss Doomgaze is, etc.
Well,
Now those aren't guaranteed Espers anymore. You got to remember that. So the auction house is the only place to get a guarantee.
Yep. And on top of that, it's one of those things where you're going to be doing, in a normal race where there aren't extra objectives, you're going to be going for the quickest, most, you're going to go for efficiency over everything else for the most part. And so the less efficient checks are going to get left by the wayside. You're not going to see as many auction houses unless people feel like they're really behind and want to take a risk,
Yeah, that's why we didn't wind up going to the Phoenix Cave. I mentioned, I'll go to the Phoenix Cave now a couple times and never bothered because there was faster things to do.
Yeah, you would have gone down a rabbit hole if that shadow was in the Phoenix Cave today.
That's definitely what it sounds like upon reflection there.
Nah.
Yeah, we brought up Phoenix Cave at least 4 times and ended up doing different stuff. Like, I was originally going to go there, then I was like, wait, I know I'm a little more powerful right now, so I'll go do Owzers instead, and Entity can check out Phoenix Cave, but then he ended up doing, I think it was, crap, what was it? Mount Zozo?
It was like,
Mount Colts, right?
Yeah.
So it looks like there was a potential speedy route if you would have went to pick up Go-Go early from World of Ruin Narsh right after getting Locke. I think that would have put you about 5 characters, and then Go-Go unlocks Setzer and also Celes, and then that would have been 7, and then you would have had access to those checks. Would you have preferred that route or the route you did?
No, definitely not.
I think the one we did gave us
that we did. If one of us went to Zozo earlier with Terra than we did, we would have got Cyan and presumably would have went to Mount Zozo before too long, and then be like, oh, it's Maduin. Now we're just hunting a few Espers, because at that point we would have already had 5 or 6 characters, I think.
Yeah, I think we wound up with a pretty good party pretty early, so I don't think really going to get Go-Go and Umaro would have helped us that much, even if it wound up giving us Celes at the end, because then she's a great character, possibly the best, with great checks, but then you got to level her and stuff.
Nah, Terra's the best character. Celes is a very solid second place. Then it's Shadow, and then probably Cyan in the randomizer, I would say.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of sleeps on Morph and how really good that ability.
Even if you only get 1 attack off with it, you're going to one-shot like half the bosses you run into with that command.
Yeah, and you can also like Morph and then Wait Trick and then go back to Terra, and it's like a free action.
Yeah. Well, I know Atma patched it out, but you used to be able to trigger permanent Morph in the final battle, and that was pretty funny too.
Yeah, I deliberately also told him to stop giving us all the MPs to Morph, so now it's a reduced back to the unmultiplied MP, so you can't just morph every boss.
It makes a lot more sense with the boosted magic points, because most bosses you kill are giving you 50 magic points. Without the modification, that's pretty close to like 6 or 7 morph turns just for one boss fight right there.
Yep. Okay. Well, gentlemen, I'm sorry to cut you off, but this has been a very, very awesome race to watch. I'm so glad that you guys were part of it, and really, really, really well played. Particularly Jack and that Kefka fight was something to behold. Really
yeah, I can't lie. Once we're finished up here, I think I'm gonna rewind the VOD a bit and watch that just insane clutch finish again, because like I was like, oh man, I can't believe I'm getting away with this, but here it is.
Yeah, I thought you were a goner.
I was asking him whether he was gonna reset before, like 3 or 4 minutes before he finished that fight, and he was just like, "No."
Locke living with 35 HP.
Yep.
Force armor, force armor, force armor, force armor saves lives.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Let's go.
All right. Well, we have a announcement from Dark Fowls. Dark Fowls is going to be touting another event that we have coming up here.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
If you guys just want to hang out and mute your mics, Dark Fowls, if you want to unmute and let everybody know what's up. I suppose I should PM him in case he's got me muted. Very exciting news. So there you have it. We are going to have a Battle Royale tournament system that Dark Fowls is organizing.
That sounds like so much fun.
And you'll be able to see more posts on that in our Discord. So please be on the lookout for more news regarding that system and when it will be starting up. And with that, yep. So that should be starting up soon, and I would direct you all to the Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Discord for more information. With that, do we want to see if Zenobian and his partner are available for a interview, or should we go ahead and just all bombard Vampstar and SP Ridley's Twitch channels and watch them the rest of the way? What do you think, Drew?
I mean, if we hear anything from Chad, if Zenobian really wants the interview, or indubitably, then we'll give it to him. Otherwise, I think that the raid would be a fantastic idea.
All right. So Zenobian's saying that his partner is already gone, so he says that we should go on ahead and wrap it up. So with that, let's all pile in on Vamp's Discord. Just a quick shout out to our Restream team one more time, and our racers. I have been Scott or Ultros, and I've been here with Drulith, who have been commentating. We've had Ike here on tracking and Dark Fowls on restreaming, and they've done a phenomenal job. Thanks very much to both of them. Our racers today have been Mr. Entity and Jacobus Wedge, as well as SP Ridley and Vampstar 87. GG's all. It has been a very fun match to commentate on, and a really cool race to be to be able to organize. So thanks very much for all of your efforts.
Geez, and thank you, everybody.
All right. And we are out.